Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Q&A meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. Please send in your question one at a time. Please be brief and precise. Also, please let me know how the audio and video is doing today. I shall start reading your comments and questions. B. Lim Sukihotu Thanajan EOSC Satu Kenneth Tan Kiba. Greetings Ajahn. May you be well and happy. Audio and video is good. Thank you. Kenneth Hunt. Good morning Thanajan. You are clear. Thank you. B. Lim. Happy Makabucha Day. Next month. This year they have 13 moon, so they have to move 1 month away. Used to be on the third month on the lunar calendar, but when there's 13 lunar moon this year, they have to move it to the fourth month of the lunar calendar, which is next month. Metta Vandana Satu Satu. Metta Vandana, great audio and video. Thank you. Yes, today it's very clear. I'm not sure why. Sometimes it's a little blurry, sometimes it's very clear. This is the system, I guess, the Facebook system. So has nothing to do with me here. Te Seng Hin, good afternoon, Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. EOSC, Ajahn, audio and video clear. Thank you. Fanny Ong, good afternoon, Tan Ajahn. Audio and video is clear. Thank you. Bilim Suki, Satu Satu, Tan Ajahn. Question from Quet, Mexico. I am a student and I have bought some Buddha statues. How can I donate them in order to get higher merit from giving them? Should I donate to Theravada temple or should I give to some Buddhist? You can give to anybody who likes to have them. It's better to give to somebody who wants them than giving to somebody who doesn't want them. So just you can give to anybody. You can give it to the temples, any temples. You can give it to any Buddhist or non-Buddhist. Giving doesn't matter who you give to. You get the same merit from giving. Merit here means you feel good, you feel happy when you give something that you treasure to someone else. Then it makes you feel good. And you might feel more good if you can give it to someone who you think they appreciate it than giving to someone who don't appreciate it. Gautama Y, Satu, Satu. I have blank comment which is being blank out, but I can restore it. From what I heard, the person who have the messages white out means he or she doesn't have any follower or friends, or have posted something which Facebook found offensive or unacceptable. But I can read your comment, which is from Kelvin. Namaskaran, dear Ajahn. Video is bright and sharp. Bruce Lee using my nephew account, Kelvin. I see. So this is Bruce Lee using Kelvin's account. Te Seng Hin, Ajahn, the Buddha taught that everybody is anicca. What about our citta? Is it permanent or also anicca? Thank you. The citta here have two meanings. If we talk about the knowing element, the one who knows, the one who thinks, this one is permanent. It doesn't fall apart. But another meaning of citta is the conditions in the knowing element, such as emotion, thoughts, and feelings. This is anicca. They keep changing. In your mind, someday you feel good, someday you feel bad, someday you are depressed, someday you are elated. This is also called citta. This keeps changing. But the one who knows the conditions of the citta isn't anicca, it is permanent. It's one of the 6 permanent things that made up the universe, which are the 6 great elements: the earth element, the water element, the fire element, the wind element, the knowing element, and the space element. These are the 6 things that is permanent, but they keep combining and keep changing. They keep combining and keep dissoluting. Like the body is made up of the 4 elements, and with the 5th element, the knowing element, connected to it. But they only last temporarily. Eventually they will then separate again. The earth, water, fire, and wind element will then separate. Then the body will disappear. V.B. Augustine. Okay, Gautama Y. I already read your comment. Kathleen Poor. Good afternoon, Maha Ajahn. Sadhu, sadhu. Anumodami. Thank you. V.V. Augustine. Good afternoon, Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. Metta Vandana. Ajahn, I am practicing Bhutto while walking, and it's helping me with mindfulness. Now I am doing it between other tasks as well. Thanks for the suggestion. You are welcome. You can do Bhutto all day long, and you can stop only when you have to think about something else. But when you don't need to think, try to stop your thought by reciting Bhutto instead. Eventually, you'll be able to control your thoughts, and you can control your emotions, and you will be calm, peaceful all day long. Kim Boon Chu, good afternoon, Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. Ramsat JW Namaskaran Prajan. Love, learn and practice Dhamma as usual. Thank you. You are welcome. Avin Liu Wei Peng. Good morning. Satu Satu. Eniram Satu. Gautama Satu. Yulingo. Satu Satu. Te Seng Hin. Thank you, Ajahn, for clearing up my confusion on Chitta. Xiao Shan. Good afternoon, Tan Ajahn. May I ask what the Sakadagami often practice so that he can progress on his path to the final destination? I am also curious of the Sakadagami will progress step by step to Anagami first and then Arahant, or he is able to attain Anagami and Arahantship at the same time. Thank you. No, every practitioner have to advance step by step. First, you have to be a Sotapanna. Then when you start to contemplate on Asupa, and if you are able to see Asupa half of the time, then you have reached the second stage called Anagami. And an Anagami will then have to increase the Asupa contemplation to become 100% of the time. Once he can contemplate 100% of the time Asupa, then he become Anagami. And then from Anagami, he has to switch his contemplation to the other 5 fetters, or investigate the other 5 fetters to get rid of them. So every step has to be done step by step, but the speed can vary from person to person. Some person can advance very quickly from the first level to the 4th level. Some people do it slowly. Sometimes take years for them to get to the final destination. But everyone has to go step by step. They have to get rid of the fetters one at a time. But you can do it quick or slow. It's up to the effort you put in and the ability to see things clearly. Metta Vandana. Ajahn, I just completed your book, Beyond Birth, and I wanted to ask you about the lion, your teacher. You mentioned several times that most monks didn't want to face him because he didn't like monks wandering around. But isn't it the same as escaping, like kilesa? It is kilesa in a sense, because if we have to face him, sometimes we feel intimidated, and we don't want to be intimidated, or we don't want to be told this is our kilesas. But most of the time when we have to face them, then we have to use mindfulness and wisdom to calm our kilesa, our defilement, by reminding us that the teacher meant well. He didn't want to hurt us. He just wanted to hurt our defilement, that's all. That's why our defilement doesn't like meeting our teacher. Like to be in the opposite direction. When we see him walking toward us, we'll try to find another path or something. We don't want to face him face to face unnecessarily. But when we have to face him unnecessarily, we have to stay mindful. Then we will not be scolded. We will not be told that we are wrong or something. Terry Shi, good morning, afternoon, Dhanadhan. Good afternoon to you. โตห้วยขวางอยู่ไหน สาธุ อายีนมัสการะท่านอาจารย์ อายีท่านอาจารย์ if bad thought occur but don't lead to bad actions, what kind of akusala karma vipaka will we get? We will get bad feelings. When we think of bad thoughts, we can get bad feelings. When we think of good thoughts, we get good feelings. Anandati Satu Satu. Alexander Aroka Satu Bante. I.e. question number 2. Do only arahants have relics? What about the other 3 levels of holiness? Yes, only the arahant have some parts of the bone will turn into relics, not the other 3 levels, because their mind isn't yet completely pure. According to what I heard, you need to have a purity of heart to purify the body, to purify parts of the body, such as the bone, to make it become relics. Metta Vandana, thanks Ajahn, it makes sense. Like my student in college, sometimes doesn't see me because they haven't done their assignments. Yes, that's right. So they don't like to be reprimanded. Our defilement doesn't like to be reprimanded. And also we want to show our respect by not trying to make as much mistake as possible whenever we see our teacher, especially when we're not supposed to be seen, we're supposed to be meditating and be wandering around the monastery, then this is considered to be a no-no. So when we do that, if we happen to run into him unexpectedly, if we can avoid him, we will try to avoid him. If not, then we will just have to face the consequence, maybe a reprimand from him. I.e. question number 3, when pain occurs during meditation, which is better, focusing on the meditation object to return to calm, being aware of the pain and noticing changes in the pain. It depends on your ability. If you cannot face the pain with equanimity, then you have to avoid looking at the pain and focus on your meditation object, such as a mantra instead. So it depends on the equanimity you have. If you have strong equanimity, then you don't have to focus on your meditation object. You can watch the pain and tell yourself it is anicca, it rises and ceases. It's anatta, it's something that you cannot force it to go away. If you can do this, then you will have wisdom. Then you can overcome the pain forever. Every time you face the pain, you will not be afraid. You will not have any dukkha, because you can remain calm and let the pain rise and cease by itself. But if you don't have enough equanimity yet, your defilement will want to create the desire to get rid of the pain, and this will increase the mental pain. So, and you will make the mind become miserable until to the point where it will not be able to withstand the pain anymore. So if you cannot watch the pain and not reacting to it emotionally, then you should Rely on your meditation object. Rely on mindfulness. Focus on your meditation object, such as your breath or your mantra. But if you have strong equanimity when you see the pain, you don't feel any reaction. You don't have any reaction. You can watch it calmly and let the pain arise and cease by itself. Then you don't need to rely on your meditation object. Just tell the truth to the mind that pain is something we cannot avoid or get rid of. But we can face it and deal with it calmly, and eventually it will disappear. Lim Sui Kun, Satu Satu. Lim Lim, Satu Satu. Alexander Aroka. I study intensely and I have the necessary condition to progress on the path of Dhamma. But the place is still not adequate. I am moving house. For now I'm just keeping ubeka while I move home. As I watch, the body does and it knows how and what to do. The positive side of this house move is that I will only take with me a few select basic objects. I am calm and satisfied with myself and with my decision, because sometimes a long time in the same cave, even a tiger becomes easy prey for the hunter. Satu, satu. Okay, I hope you can practice and advance in your new house. Question from Denny from Bali, Indonesia. I just lost a rabbit pet. Question number 1. Can I do Patidana transfer of merit? Can I do Patidana transfer of merit by offering Bintapata on behalf of my deceased rabbit? Yes, you can do charity, any type of charity actually. If you cannot find monks to give food to or the temples to donate to, you can donate to any organization or anybody who needs the money, and then you can transfer this merit to the pet rabbit. Eli Hassan. Good day, Tanajan. During meditation, when I realize thinking becoming blur, like stop, cannot think further. Should we just let it or start to say Bhutto Bhutto again, teacher? Or you can let it stop and then just be focused. Just keep watching, and don't let the mind think. That's all. The purpose is to stop thinking. So if you stop thinking, then you don't need to do anything. Just stay mindful. Make sure that you don't think. Question number 2 from Denny. Can I donate normally or donate during Katina on behalf of my deceased rabbit? You can donate anytime you are able to. You don't have to wait for Katina. That's a long time. You should do as soon as possible, because your pet might be waiting for the merit. Question number 4 from IE. When we atithana and something good happens, is it because of our own atithana or because of our kusala karma vipaka? It could be anything, and things can happen whether you have adithana or not, whether you make a wish or not. Sometimes things just happen by itself and have nothing to do with your wishes or your good karma vipaka. But sometimes it might be your good karma vipaka. So it can be anything that causes things to happen. The point is not to try to manage them because they are not under your control. Just try to take things as they come. Then you will have no disappointment or sadness when you don't get anything that you want. Our practice is to teach the mind to be neutral, not expecting anything. Let things happen, good and bad, because they are beyond our control. If we expect good things and when they don't happen, we can become sad. So don't expect anything. Just let things happen by themselves, of themselves. Pashan Gok, I'm sorry. Gaikwad, I think, Gaikwad, Pashan Gaikwad. Good Ajahn, how can we control our wandering thought and past regrets? By reciting the mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. As soon as you start to think, keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto instead. Patricia Chan, Sadhu, Sadhu. Adeline Chin, good afternoon, Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. Question number 3 from Denny. If I read correctly, technically Patidana could only work for the Peta realm, yet the deceased rabbit can be reborn into other realms, right? Including Peta, yes, but we don't know which realm it will go to. It's up to the rabbit karma. So in order to play it safe, we just donate it and share the merit to him anyway, just in case he happens to be in the Peta realm. If not, then other Peta can receive them. Or once the rabbit dies, it will have to be reborn again and again based on its karma. So nothing we can do. That's why we can only stop our rebirth by practicing meditation and wisdom. Then we can stop our rebirth. But we cannot stop other people's rebirth. Everyone has to do their own practice to stop rebirth, so that they won't have to reborn again in any realms of existence. Nong Lin Satu Satu, Metta Vandana. Ajahn, I want to follow a precept for one day a week. Do I need to stop using the computer for work too? You can use for work, but not for entertainment or for pleasures. The goal of keeping the precept is to stop our desire for sensual pleasures. We don't want to use sensual pleasure as a way of making us happy. We'll use meditation instead. So when you stop using the sensual pleasure, then you will have time to use meditation to make your mind peaceful and happy instead. But you can use for work. But normally, keeping the precept is usually for people who's not working, who's free from working, who's attending a retreat, a meditation retreat. Then the precept is a must. But if you still have to work, you might find it a little bit difficult, because sometimes, like keeping the 6th precept, You have to eat before midday. But usually you at work you start working at midday and eat after midday. So you might have to do a little bit of flexibility. You might have to move your midday a little bit 1 hour later to 1 p.m. instead in order to keep the 8 precepts properly. But normally the 8 precepts are those for those who are attending a retreat, a meditation retreat. But it doesn't stop other people from keeping it if they can. Keeping them is good, so it's up to you to decide whether it's appropriate for you or not. But it is definitely a plus to be able to keep the 8 precepts, even if you have to work. So don't get me wrong. It's always good to keep as many precepts as possible, but sometimes maybe it's not practical for your situation. That's all. Chiu Chan, Sadhu, thank you, Ajahn, for your explanation. Can I ask another question? Yes. Can the irritation be removed by Panya alone, or we have to strengthen our concentration to the point it is firmly established all around to get rid of them? And yes, you need to have 100% equanimity in order to use wisdom to get rid of your irritation permanently. And how the asubha can be present all the time in our mind by constantly contemplating until it becomes embedded in your mind, and then you can use it anytime you need it to. It's like memorizing your multiplication table. When you first learning, you have to keep reciting it until you can remember it fully all the time. Then whenever you want to use it, then you can recall it right away. Same way with asubha. When you first establishing it, you have to constantly reflecting on it until it becomes ever present in your mind, so that when you need to use it, it can come up right away. If it doesn't come up right away, then it means you haven't yet reached the 100% point of asubha contemplation. Does it depend on our panya, which can see it through as soon as the eyes come to contact with the objects, or it depends on the way we master our asubha contemplation? Yes, if you can, every time you see a body, you can see the asubha aspect of the body as well. Just like when you see a body, you can remember the names of that person, of that body. It's the same way, every time you see a body, you remember the asubha of that body at the same time. Then you will not have any sexual desire toward anybody, because every time you see a body, you see asubha of that body also. Like when you see somebody, you recognize the name of that body. So every time you see a body, you should recognize the asubha aspect of that body also. Then it means you have 100% capability to get rid of your sexual desire. Ama Ayugwe, dear Ajahn, can you please teach the way to develop both samadhi and insight together? No, you cannot practice samadhi and insight together. You have to practice them separately. They are two separate courses of study, like geography and mathematics. You don't study at the same time. You can study consecutively. First you study mathematics, then the next hour you can study geography. Same way with samadhi and insight. You first have to develop samadhi by constantly developing mindfulness. until you are capable of leading your mind into jhana. Then once you have jhana, when you come out of jhana, then you can go to insight by contemplating on the three characteristic nature of things. Everything is anicca, anatta. If you cling to them, you will get dukkha. So this is the way you should practice samadhi and insight. First, develop samadhi until you get to jhana. If you don't get to jhana, don't go to insight yet, because your mind is not strong enough to resist your defilement, to get rid of your defilement. You need a strong mind with equanimity, with jhana. Once you have developed jhana, your mind will become strong. It will have strong equanimity. Then you can then use when you come out of jhana, then you can then develop the three characteristics of existence in your mind. Teach your mind that everything is anicca, anatta. If you cling to them, you will get dukkha. Then you'll stop your desire for things because you don't want to get dukkha. Metta Vandana, thanks Ajahn. You're welcome. Yohanali Satu Tanajan. Chichaya Lila Satu Satu. Sam Lam, Ajahn, my right side nose always blocked. Will breathing through one side of whole hindrance meditation? No, because you don't rely, you don't have to worry about the breathing. All you have to do is just keep watching the breathing. You're just watching whether the body breathes through one hole or through two holes. Doesn't matter, as long as you can stay focused on the breath at the tip of the nose. You want to use it as an anchor to stop your mind from thinking. If you keep watching the breath, then you cannot go think about other things. God can be Satu Satu. Eli Hassan, Ajahn, want to share an info. One of senior Pante in Medan just cremated yesterday. 53 Vasa Pante Jinadammo Mahatera. Thank you. I heard he was the first Indonesian monk ordained by the Supreme Patriarch, the previous Supreme Patriarch, the founder of Wat Yannasangwararam. Rakit Tua Satu Satu. Patarapon Vosuk Satu Satu. Patsy Chung, just listening to your Dhamma talk and Q&A session is good reinforcement of all we have learned. Thank you very much. May Tanajan be well, happy, and live long to continue to guide us in the many different ways you are doing now. Satu Satu. You're welcome. Ayi, question number 5. What is it that can make Buddhism last even longer? Faithful followers who study and practice and became enlightened. This will keep Buddhism last forever. If the Buddhist follower followed the Buddha's teaching faithfully and became arahant, then they can continue to propagate the teaching of the Buddha forever. Kwan Liman, dear Tanajan, with respect, a Sotapanna has 7 more lives to attain full liberation. If they're reborn in the Deva realm, does it also consider within the 7 lifetime? I'm not sure. I don't know where the 7 lifetime mean, whether human lifetime or also Deva lifetime or not. I'm not sure. But don't worry about it. Once you become a Sotapanna, you will advance and reach the ultimate goal eventually. Sam Lam, thanks very much. You're welcome. Kek Yen So, dear Tan Ajahn, greeting from Penang. Greetings to you. Chiao Shang, Chiao He Shang, Satu, thank you Tan Ajahn for your great metta. May Tan Ajahn have a long life with good health for the benefits of all beings. I hope so. But we all have to die one day, don't we? We all have to get sick one day. So be prepared for that day. Then you won't have any dukkha when it happens. I.e. question number 6. If we have given and see the result of the funds being misused, and there is a little disappointment in this, but we still try to realize that we should have given up what we have donated. Is this true? Is this in this, but we still try to realize that we should have given up what we have donated? Is that true? That's right. You should not cling to them. Once you give it, then it belongs to the receiver, and what the receiver wants to do is up to them. But if you find that the fund is being misused, the only thing you can do is not to give to them anymore. You give to somebody else who you find that they are not misusing the fund. So when you donate to somebody and you find that somebody that received the money did not do what he said he would do, then next time you don't give to that person anymore. You give to some other people who are faithful to their promises. Yohanali, thank you for your Dhamma, Ajahn. You're welcome. Keep mature, Satu, Satu. Metta Vandana. For 8 precepts, can I eat breakfast or only one meal? Is allowed lunchtime. No, 8 precepts can eat as many meals as you want, but not after midday. You can eat many meals as much as you want before midday. But ideally, for practitioner, it is preferable to eat only once a day, in the morning or before or lunch, whichever time you want to eat. The goal is not to eat too much. The goal is to eat enough to keep the body going, but not to enjoy the pleasure from eating, that's all. We want to find pleasure from meditation instead. Because if we eat too much, then it can become a hindrance. We will become drowsy and will not be able to meditate properly. Alexander Aroka, after attending a lecture on emptiness given by scientists who wore joy on their faces, was moved. I was moved. When realizing the absence of Dhamma, consciousness, a sense of sadness and joy suddenly swept through my heart, causing tears of joy and compassion for us human beings, ignorant of the light of life of the Dhamma. Satu, Satu. Question number 4 from Denny. I understand that owning a pet will create suffering in the end for human and pet. The pet can be free, the human will be attached and sad when the pet dies. What should I do to ensure the deceased pet will be reborn into a happier realm? You cannot do anything. It's up to the pet's good and bad karma. If the pet has some good karma left, then maybe in the next lifetime it might be born into a happier realm of existence. All you can do is only for yourself. Try to do good karma and not doing bad karma. Like having pet is bad karma because you actually imprison your pet to to stay with you. You not allow that pet to be free. You don't give the pet the freedom. So this is the bad karma. Even though you think you're feeding the pet, but you're feeding the pet for your own pleasure. So it's better not to have any pet. If you have pets, you should not lock them up. You should allow them free access to roam, to go or stay as they like. Then this is good karma. But if you have pets and you lock them up, then this is bad karma because you are imprisoning someone. You don't want to be imprisoned. Likewise, the pet doesn't like to be imprisoned either. So you have to give it the free decision by not putting it in a cage. Let the pet roam around freely. If the pet wants to stay with you, let it stay. If it wants to go away, let it go away. Kalai Lai, Namo Amitoto. Question number 7 from IE. When we do patidana for parents who have died, but it turns out that our parents cannot accept our patidana, will it be distributed automatically to those who need patidana? You have to mention it in your wishes. You can say, I like to dedicate this patidana for my parents and some other beings who might be in need of this merit. You have to mention it in your wishes when you share your merit. Somebody with some character I cannot read. From Lao, okay, Lao, from Lao. สบายดีสาธุสาธุ Question from Justin, California. I just started attending Wat Thai temple to chant and meditate and started my Buddhist journey last year. As Buddhists, are we allowed to go to psychics? I just so happen to have went to one and I don't plan on going back. I feel as a person, certain things are trial and error. I tried it and I saw how manipulative it was. Well, there's no rules to stop us to go to see other people, other teachers. But if we want to be true Buddhists, then we just have to have faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha only. You don't need to have faith in other teacher as far as spiritual teaching is concerned. But you can still go to college and study science, anything, This doesn't, you're not prevented from doing it. But as far as spirituality is concerned, then you should rely on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha as your teacher only. But you can consult any other teachers if you like and compare to the teaching of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Should they contradict, then you should then take the side of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Believe in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and not in the teaching that contradicts the teaching of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. You can study anything you want, but you have to compare the knowledge that you study whether they are in contradiction to the Buddha's teaching or not. If they are in contradiction, then you should not follow them. Question from Chiu Chan. Chiu He Chan. Dear Ajahn, I am wondering if I can visit Ajahn Monastery in the future and stay there for a few days. We have people coming and staying with us for a few days. You have to contact my assistant and the email address of assistant Ajahn Suchart, assistant.ajahn.suchart@gmail.com. Or go to the website prasuchart.com and there's a contact page. You can then send in your message to my assistant and you will be guided by them. Thanks again for your excellent teaching and wishing Ajahn great weekend. You're welcome. I.e. Question number 8. If we often do patidana to all the beings in our house, will those beings become attached to us? No. They only just need the merit. And then once they have enough merit, they can then maybe move on to the next realm of existence. Okay, we have about 6 minutes left. So if you want to send in your question, you can still type it and send it in. Musli, Calvin, thank you very much for today, dear Ajahn. You're welcome. Question number 2 from Justin. How do I detach myself from things and earthly desire? By staying away from them, that's all. Have nothing to do with them. Keep yourself away from them. Like alcohol, if you attach to all alcohol, then stop having anything to do with alcohol. Don't drink, don't touch, don't have anything don't keep it in your house, for instance. Indilam Satu Satu. Ayi, thank you very much for your teaching. You're welcome. Tannik. If family members do not like me to go to monastery too often for Dhamma class, how to handle? Well, it's your life, You can do whatever you want to do. You have to decide for yourself what to do. If it's good for you, then you can ignore other people's attitude. If they don't like it, then it's too bad, as far as I'm concerned. If doing something good for you and everybody else they don't like, then it's too bad. You don't have to pay too much attention to other people's attitude. Ayi Namaskaran Ajahn. Sharon QS Satu Satu. Metta Vandana, thank you so much for your teaching. May Ajahn stay healthy and safe. Thank you, and you are welcome. Kema Jenny, Grab Namaskaran, Long Po, Mahasatu for your wisdom. You're welcome. Okay, I think that's about it for today. Thank you for your participation in this meeting. I hope you can benefit and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay calm, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye. Too bad, Sulan, you're a little bit late. I have to go now. See you later.